Hey guys, welcome back to another video with InfoSec Pat. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be doing the defensive side. We're going to do a TryHackMe Intro to Defensive Security. So understand a little bit about what SOC analysts do, investigation, like incident response, also known as IR, and some cool tricks and tips what you need to know in order to be a defensive security professional, right? Because we all talk about, the anonymous mask and putting up the hoodie and hacking away, red teaming, pen testing, offensive security. But I want to start talking a little bit more about defensive. So what I want to do is start out with intro to defensive security on TryHackMe. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Like I always say, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I will be doing a little giveaway at 20,000 subscribers. I'm about at, I think, 18,300, something like that right now. So it's just about 1,700 to go. And I want to be doing a little giveaway. And I'm going to be putting something together and put a vote out there, a little poll, see what wins. And then I'll do a little, you know, a little surprise. So let's get into the video. We're going to be jumping on my Cali box into TryHackMe, and I'll show you where we're going to go and what we're going to do from here. All right? So let's have some fun. All right, guys. So here we are. We are on my Cali machine. So once you get into, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the dashboard. And once you go to your dashboard, you can go ahead and go to Learn. You can do intro to, I think, introduction to cybersecurity. I believe it's on here. Yeah, intro to, I believe I did intro to offensive security, but I'm going to do intro to defensive security. So, what is the defensive side, right? Like we always talk, like I said in the intro, we always talk about, hacking away and all this good stuff. But what about on the flip side of that, right? The defensive side. So let me see if I can make this a little bigger. All right, I think that should be good. So what we're going to be doing here is intro to defensive security. So obviously, like the offensive security focuses on one thing, breaking into a system, right? We're going to try to hack into a system, break things and exploiting things and abusing insecure setups, like it says here, and taking advantage of different access controls, etc. Like red teams and penetration testers specialize in offensive security. That's what a lot of the security folks want to focus on, right? So I was one of them, right? Like I come from that networking and systems background before I led into cybersecurity, and I was like, oh, I just want to break into systems. I want to get paid to hack into stuff, right? So, but when we're trying to hack into things, I want to try to, not only just do a walkthrough. I want to try to like break this stuff down and little education, as we say. So, there's two different things that we need to, talk about here, right? And we want to prevent any intrusion from occurring, right? We like maybe put firewalls in place, putting security measures in place, and obviously educating the end users like security awareness training because the human element is the weakest link. No matter how many bells and whistles, how many email security services you have, endpoint protection, EDR, SIM tools, all these detecting and responding uh, tools in place. The human element is the weakest link. Just remember that. So, and number two here, we have detecting, intrusions when they occur, right? So we want to make sure we respond properly to these incidents. Okay, so these people are called blue teams or blue teamers, right? So the blue teams are a part of the defensive landscape, as red teamers are a part of the offensive side of the house, right? So as we see here, we have a whole bunch of computers. If I was to guess, the blue would be like an EDR or endpoint detection or response. That's also in EDR. So we have different kinds of agents running on different PCs. And if there's an incident that happens, it alerts the EDR, like CrowdStrike or Carbon Black or something like that. whatever your organization is using. Okay. So I don't want to bore you guys reading everything, but I just want to give some breakdown, excuse me, of this. Okay. So some of the tasks, for defensive security includes like user security awareness training. It's like I said, this is super, super key, you know, documenting and managing assets. So say for an example, you have a small organization, 50 assets, 50 computers. We want to make sure we monitor, document, and manage that so we know what kind of systems and devices we're managing and make sure they're managed correctly, right? So we want to have updating and patching systems. So what is that? So when Microsoft comes out with a new update or Java or Adobe, we want to make sure all of the computers and servers and network devices are correctly updated and patched. Make sure like there's no vulnerabilities that are lingering or any weaknesses for these hackers to exploit, right? Remember, we're talking on the defensive aspect now. So setting up, different kind of security measures or different kind of security devices, firewalls, IPSs. These are critical components to prevent security. Excuse me. So, firewall, obviously a firewall, if we don't know what that is, it's going to control what the traffic can and cannot do, come in and out of the network. And IPS blocks any network traffic that matches a rule or an attack signature, right? For instance, there's Palo Alto, there's Checkpoint, there's Firepower from Cisco. The list goes on, right? So setting up logging and monitoring devices. So we want to make sure this is set up, right? So we have our SIM tool that ingests all the data from all these endpoints into a centralized server, and then we can monitor and manage that, right? So there are so many more, you know, defensive security, but the list goes on and on. But this is some of that we're going to be covering, you know, here. In this room, we cover a SOC, a Security Operations Center, threat intelligence, DFIR, digital forensics and incident response, and malware analysis. Okay. So, like I said, I want to try to educate as well as answer these questions. So, what team focuses on defensive security? So, as we know, it's a blue team, right? So, blue teams are the ones that focus on the defense. So, let's put blue team. Okay, that's correct. Woohoo. And remember, red teamers focus on the offensive side. Okay, so let's go to areas of defensive security. Okay, so in this section, we're going to look at what a SOC does. They look at vulnerabilities, policy violations, unauthorized activity, network intrusions. So we're not going to read everything, but these are what they focus on. Okay. So security operations cover various tasks to ensure protection. One one such task is threat intelligence. Okay. So we can see threat intelligence here. Just keep going down. DFIR, digital forensics, incident response. Okay. So here are four major phases of the incident response process, right? So then we keep going down. We have malware analysis. And then, so pretty much what this is a software that is malicious. And what we want to do is analyze that malicious files to make sure, it's not being executed on any of our machines, right? So it's a virus is a piece of code. A Trojan horse is a program that shows one desired function but hides in a malicious function. Ransomware, obviously, ransomware, we all know what that is. That's massive today. Pretty much it locks your files, holds your files for ransom. You have to pay the hacker in Bitcoin in order to decrypt the encrypted files. Okay. So let's go down. Let's go to the questions here. So what is what would you call a team of cybersecurity professionals that monitor a network and its systems for malicious events? So if we remember when we go back up, let's go back up. Rolling, roll. It's a SOC. So if we go all the way back up, it's a Security Operations Center. Let's just copy this. I don't want to type all that out. And I'm not so fast of a typer. This is a lot easier. So woohoo, it's right. So what does DFIR stand for? Remember, that stands for the Digital Forensics Incident Response. So again, let me just go up and copy this and go down, paste it. Woohoo! All right, so which kind of malware requires a user to pay money? So that's ransomware, right? So ransomware, go ahead, go. Okay, so now we're good with this section. So hopefully that was informative. So that's section 2. Let's go ahead and come back up, bring this up, and then the practical example. All right, so now what we have to do is visit the site. Let's go ahead and click on visit site, and let's go back down. Okay, so it looks like we have access to a SIM, right? So what we can do here is we can look at the alert. First of all, let's read what we got to do here. You're part of a SOC responsible to protect the bank. The bank SOC uses a SIM tool, a SIM, blah, blah, blah. So let's just see in this exercise, I'm just going to read this quickly. Next one, blah, blah, blah. All right, so what is the flag that you need to obtain? All right, so we just pretty much have to find a flag in here, right? So let's just go to the alert, the alert log, and let's see, blah, blah, blah. Unauthorized. Okay, so this looks pretty interesting. All right, let's go back, I guess. The IP address, but I guess we have to go back. We have to put an IP address. So it's going to be, the IP address is going to be 143.110.250.149. Okay, so let me just type that in here. Let me see if I remember it. 143.110. I believe it was 250.149, I think. Let's go ahead and submit this. Okay, looks like we were in. Okay, so the result was found. Bring this up. All right, so it's fine. So, and there is an open source database out there, blah, blah, blah. And let's just go into now that we know the IP address of the, we need to escalate. Okay, next. Okay, we shouldn't worry too much, blah, blah, blah. I'm just reading this. Choose whom we would escalate this event to. So I would go ahead and do it to the SOC lead. So this guy. Okay. So now we're looking at firewalls, different firewall logs here. So firewall block list. So what we want to do is we want to block the IP address that came from, I think it was 143. Oh, why can't I see everything? Let's see if I smaller. Okay. So I guess I had to make this smaller. All right, let me go back and stop right there. All right, so we have to block an IP address, right? So the IP address that we have to block is that 143. I think I still have it memorized. Let me make sure. 143.110. See how good my memory is. I think it was 250.149. Not, we just go ahead and go back. Block. Okay, you blocked the malicious IP. All right, so I guess this is the flag. Let's copy this. Go down here, paste it in, submit. Voila, we have did it. Congratulations. So that's pretty much a little walkthrough on the intro to defensive security. So hopefully it's been informative for you guys. I really appreciate you guys checking us out. If you have any comments or concerns or questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm more than happy to help you guys out as best as I can. So until next time, have a beautiful day. Thank you.